Call the budget meeting to order. Miss Jessica, if you'll call the roll, see if we've got a quorum.
Commissioner Scarlett.
Here.
Commissioner Huffaker. Here. Commissioner Moore. Here. Commissioner Snodgrass. Here. Commissioner Byrd.
Here.
Commissioner Seals.
Here.
Commissioner Blevins. Commissioner Dockery.
Here.
Commissioner Carmichael.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas. Here. So we have 9.
9 present, 1 in abstention. All right. We don't have any copies of the minutes to approve.
Well, I emailed them out. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't
I
cover
got you got them.
paper copies.
All right, everybody else got them besides me?
Well,
That's all it counts.
So sorry.
My machine's broke.
Yeah.
All right, if you have a copy of the minutes, please look over them. Are there any additions or corrections?
Make a motion to approve it. Second.
All right. Mr. Byrd. Mr. Moore. Motion been made, properly second to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion passes. I do not have any forms. Is there any citizens that wish to comment to the budget committee? Okay. We're here, one item. Basically, we're going to take up, discuss compensation and raises. You've got 1 or 2 ways we can handle this. You all can hear some of it here, or if you want to pass it on with no recommendation, move it to the full commission. So either way, and that's at the pleasure of the body. And I guess that's up for me. You got anything, Miss Jessica?
I've sent out a couple of scenarios. The sheriff and I did meet last week, and we were able to do a couple of options. The original option would be what he did propose for just his jail and workhouse last Monday evening. The next 2 options, I have the details of those on your cover page, the 22-23 raise option. There's an option 1 and an option 2. Option 1 is a 5% raise for the detectives. That's the only difference. And option 2 is detectives 10%. I've also given you information on county employees. His options did not include the part-time and 1 full-time position in his department. So I did move those over to the county in my figures. Does anybody have any questions?
More questions for Miss Jessica? Y'all want to hear from the sheriff? You want to, what's the pleasure of the committee?
I did give you some information on the bonus raise history and our insurance that the county does pay and the packages. So if you have any questions on those, I'll be happy to answer those.
Okay. Mr. Doctor.
I guess I'd like to just make a statement and then offer a motion or 2.
Okay.
This past Monday, County Commission voted to suspend the rules of procedure to hear a request from Sheriff Coffey. His request was for us to address an urgent and important need to retain the jailers we currently have because we are rapidly losing them to other counties. He also asked that we support his request in order to put Jefferson County in a position to hire 5 of the 10 jailer positions we currently have open. This is necessary, I believe, to keep our jail open and avoid a jail shutdown by the state of Tennessee, which would require us to pay other facilities to house our inmates, and the cost of that would be devastating. Furthermore, Sheriff Coffey offered to eliminate 5 of the 10 open positions in order to use funds currently available in his budget to help fund pay increases for our current jailers and add 5 more, not 10. I believe we should consider and respond to the request made by Sheriff Coffey last week regarding jailers, which in my language includes workhouse, because of the urgency of it and because it was the only request made. In short, nothing else should be considered today. In recent years, Budget Committee and Commission have evaluated county employee raises and/or bonuses in October after we received the rollover numbers. Historically, we have found rollover to be 1 million plus because of our conservative budgeting approach. Having those numbers tells us what we can do this year with cash on hand and gives a strong indication of what will be needed in next year's budget to provide the services the citizens of Jefferson County deserve and demand. With that said, I have two motions to offer. My first motion is in response to our current request for jailers, which I agree is urgent. My second motion is a way, I believe, to address increases for the rest of the county employees that is justifiably fair to both our county employees and the taxpayers of Jefferson County. In order to communicate my overall intent, I will read both motions, the first of which...
Let's deal with one motion at a time.
Okay. All right. Just keep in mind the second motion, and you all have a copy of it, is based on doing a total compensation market survey, having an outside firm to do it, so that we know what the market pay is in our region, and then we use that as our guidance to see where we are and what we need to do to be competitive. So motion one is I move to approve the pay increases for jailers and workhouse as requested by Sheriff Coffey, funds to come from county general fund.
Second.
So Gina, how much?
I have that.
Motion been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Mr. Moore?
Do you mind know how much? Okay, it's $16,263, which would be from county fund balance, and that would increase his maintenance of effort at that point.
And that would be moving the funds from the workhouse.
It does. It decreases his, let's see here, he's decreasing his positions under the jail, a total of 8 positions. So he would have 33 jailers at that point, and then he would have 4 workhouse positions at that point. This does include 1 person under the litter grant as well, and 2 cafeteria staff under the gym.
Mr. Moore?
All right, so if we went through the month of July and you had X many positions not filled, you're not paying salary, benefits, what is that dollar amount?
I'm sorry.
If you have people who have not been on the payroll through the month of July, what is that total dollar amount?
We haven't ran July payroll yet, so I can't tell you who has and hasn't been on it. I'm sorry.
Okay. But what I remember from last Monday, I did not watch the YouTube video, was $25,000 requested. Comes out in the paper at 16. My quick calculation was there was $47,000 of salary and benefits not paid with what I understood of positions open. And so is it too simple of a observation that there's already money there?
There is. That's why the net effect's only $16,000 at that
Okay.
point, because he's increasing it and
Okay.
using those funds.
Then also, when we went through things in Budget Committee in April, there was not we've had some pay increases, but there was a discussion about increasing pay that was not part of the budget proposal. Instead, equipment was bought. And so here we are, X many months later, it comes up as an emergency. That does not sit well. That comes across as malfeasance. to create emergency and then hijack a meeting saying we need X, Y, Z. We just went through the budget process. That should have been addressed before we approved our budget for this coming year. And so to come up with emergency, that's wrong. And there's no redress for somebody not doing a proper job plan. So what we're doing is we're saying we're going to dip into XYZ county funds, and the whole thing of government continues to grow and grow and grow. And that's something I cannot abide with. So.
You're done.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Katie?
You know, option one, the jailers averaged 20%. Do you know what the average was with his proposal, what this motion is? Do you know the percentage increase in it?
So option, it's the same thing.
Okay, so
We
what
kept the
Jerry's
exact
motion
same
is
thing
the
in
same as
that.
option one. So does it include the litter grant here and animal control?
So his very first thing that he came to was last Monday that we had put together, only, it does include litter grants. There's one position there. It's jail and workhouse guards and jail cafeteria.
Okay, but not animal control.
No, it does not, because those are considered, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, animal control is road deputies, kind of considered road deputies, so those are not included as well in this one. So what you're looking at, the option 1 and 2 is not what Terry made his motion on. He made his motion on what was last Monday's proposal.
Is his motion for the jailers the same as the option one on this?
It is, they did not
Okay,
change.
all right.
The jail.
We didn't change anything with the jailers or anything. When we met, all we did, we kept that the same. We just went ahead and looked at the rest of the departments under the sheriff.
Okay, so I got another question for Terry. With your second motion, would animal control be part of that research for their salaries?
I would prefer the market survey to cover every single county employee, even including jailers, just so we've got a baseline for everybody. So I guess my answer is yes.
You done?
So, well, we're on supply and demand. So we're kind of at, situation changes because other counties have increased their payroll. So demands, it's more encouraging for them to take other positions, which puts sheriff at a hard spot. And that's just what the situation is today. So your motion to do the study would be surrounding counties?
I would think so, but I would leave that up to,
Let's handle the other
Okay,
motion.
all right, sorry.
You got any more on that motion? Okay. Mr. Carmichael?
Question, this is probably for the sheriff. I'm seeing patrol officer numbers, but I'm not seeing no jailers numbers on pay for jailers.
Is this for the
This,
road?
this is all patrols, what it
Yeah,
says.
this is just, that was just for patrol.
So how much for a jailer right now? How much for a jailer right now? What's their
So
salary?
for us,
Yeah,
$28,617.03.
okay.
28,000.
is that what it is now, what it brings it up to?
No, that's what it is now.
That's what it is.
20.
28,000,
617.13, I think.
716.13.
716.
And the base pay on this motion would bring it to $36,400. For starting pay. It's fine.
because there's really no comparison to other jailers. We're just comparing patrol officers. Is the training the same or different, or what's the requirements for that job?
For correctional officers,
Yes.
the correctional pay varies. I mean, but we're at 13.01 an hour. Cobb County's at 13.58, Hamlin County's at 17. I mean, we're on, as the patrol, I just brought that tonight because I was informed that they was gonna take the sheriff's department as a whole, clues to prepare for it.
This puts them at $17.50 an hour. Sorry, guys.
Jagger?
Yes, sir. The guards.
I'd like to finish with, I'd like to make amendment to his motion.
Okay.
I would like to amend Mr. Dockery's motion to add his second motion to it.
Roll it all up, basically
Yes.
roll it all up into one?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Well, I'll consent to that if whoever made the second.
Well, now, does that give the sheriff money
Yes.
tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
But what it does is put both motions together to where you only gonna
I
pass
don't want to have
one.
to go through that study before we get
He
the
can't
sheriff's money.
consent to that one.
Okay.
You're gonna have to have a separate amendment.
It's gotta be separate.
He can't consent.
Oh, he can't consent.
He's this big pop.
Right, yeah, I mean, I can't vote on
Mr.
that.
Seals is the Commissioner Seals is the second.
I'd love to
He
give
can't
myself a raise,
consent
yeah,
to the other one.
but they won't let me.
He went to Newmarket. He can't do enough math on
But I can
that.
second that first.
I'll rescind it then.
Okay. You can make the amendment, you just need another second.
Okay, well, I still wanna make my amendment if I can get a second.
That's fine.
He would have to abstain from that, wouldn't he?
He would.
He would have to completely abstain.
I will on that. Not yet.
If it's together.
It's together. That's what I'm saying.
Abstain on the first.
Terry said he could consent, and that's fine.
But he can't. He can't, that's right. I got you. I got you now.
So, just
Or,
clarification.
hang on, let me handle this one right here first. Are you making an amendment or are you
I
making a motion?
I make an amendment
Okay.
to his motion. And I'm gonna say
To
it.
include the verbiage that we have in our hands
Mhm.
with that.
Mhm.
Okay, is there a second to Mr. Carmichael's amendment? Mr. Dockery, okay, now,
So, the new, jailer pay will be $36,400 per year?
Sorry, I was writing that down.
28, it's going to 36.
36.
It's going to
6,400.
36,400.
And what is the starting patrolman's salary?
Looks like it's $33,596.54.
So it's, again, I don't know anything about the roles or positions, but right now that pay there is reversed. Where the starting pay for patrolman is higher than the jailer. And what we're saying with this amendment is we can't do anything for the patrolman until we complete this study.
that is correct.
So why would you go and hire somebody out to do this when we can do a records request from all these peer counties and have the entire thing? Again, it's spending other money, not necessary. We can just do a freedom or records request from all other counties.
I did reach out to 2 surrounding counties.
Yeah, I'm here.
You had better reaction than I did, because I didn't get any results. So,
So, does that sound reasonable? On this question for the sheriff, does that pay structure fit your vision or what's needed for the department?
Or for the jail, yeah,
And the jailer being at a higher starting rate than a patrolman?
yeah. I mean, for right now, I mean, I don't think we have an option. It's $2.3 million a year for somebody else to house them. We don't.
Any other comments? Mr.
I'm
Bird?
going to comment on this. I said it the other night, I'll say it again. I don't think we should give one group a raise and not the other one in the sheriff's department. Because like I said, if I'm a patrolman, take me off the road, put me in the jail. I make $3,000 more money, not have to drive. Or even if we're giving the sheriff's department money, when's the highway department, when's the EMS gonna come and say, well, that's not right, you gave them money. We need to look at this thing for the whole county. I know he needs this money now for this, but we need to do this, it's all because we're gonna get wore out from these people from other departments. You can give the sheriff's department a raise and no one else a raise. So I don't think it's right to, I mean, we need to look at the whole county. And, one thing that I want you to think of too, working in Sevier County like I do, where they don't pay your insurance, they don't pay, well, they give you a little bit for retirement, they don't pay much retirement. I'm looking at my check today, and I have $2,000 a month taken out of my check for health insurance and for retirement. They don't count the gas I pay driving back and forth to Sevier County. So I don't think, you know, the compensation package, do they want the money or they want the money and compensation package? As far as retirement and health insurance and stuff. We need to look at that, and that's what this survey would do, would tell us what's a better deal to do. And so I'm all in favor of, I was gonna make the motion, we get somebody to go out and do this, surrounding counties, and check and see what's going on. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe me, I brought my stuff with me. How many of the county employees would like to pay $2,000 a month out of their checks for health insurance and retirement? And that's just me and my wife, that's not family plan. That's all I was gonna make a comment, we need to look at this, and I'm saying we need to do it for the whole county, not just one department. We need to look at it right now and see what's going on. I'm done.
Ms.
Okay,
Casey.
well, I would like to ask Terry to read the second part of the motion, which we can do now, right? Because they're grouped together.
Yes.
Okay, to know what we're discussing. And then,
Terry.
Sorry, I gave everybody else on budget committee a copy.
well, but the crowd doesn't know.
Okay.
Anyway, and then, so rollover usually happens in,
They'll close the books, and they'll know the number by September 1. Is that correct?
Well, by law, books are closed August 30th, so, rollover we should have shortly after.
It may not be September 1, but it's
Right.
the
Yeah.
1st of
Give me a
September.
few days.
1st of September, is that okay? Is that,
That's good.
okay.
okay. And then before, when we've given raises, they've been retroactive to
July.
July. Okay,
Yes, and then it's paid out, it's paid out in a check.
so what I would like to know, after he reads the motion, what's the problem? Is it realistic to think we can gather that information and know it when rollover comes, so we can make a decision in October for the employees for the county? Because all those jailers can quit next week and we can have none. I mean, I think it's critical to help the sheriff with jailers because they could go out and get jobs probably pretty quickly if they wanted to. So I don't think the jailers could wait until September, October to make a decision. So will you read the motion, please?
Sure. I move that we instruct our finance director to solicit bids from outside professional firms to provide a quote to provide a total compensation package market survey comparison for Jefferson and surrounding counties. Total compensation includes but is not limited to hourly pay rate or salary, health insurance costs to the employer, retirement plans and employer contributions, and other statutory or fringe benefits. No action will be taken on county employee pay raises until commission approves or denies a bid to conduct such survey, and if approved by commission, no action shall be taken until the budget committee receives the results of the survey. Furthermore, no action will be taken until after rollover numbers have been submitted to the budget committee.
So if we go in the bid process for this, approximately how long do you think it'll take to get the results?
That's the question for you.
I have never gone through one of those personally, so the mayor said that one of his organizations just recently did.
Thanks, Bear just did one, I think the company's name was Frank.
Do you know how long it took for
I've heard of
results?
them.
I know the school did one, I asked around, the school did one. Don't quote me, it was like 10, 15 years ago. And so I was asking in our office what kind of work it took our office to provide information, and they said it was a few weeks of answering their questions and providing information, so.
Okay, so if we approve motion 2, is there a way to go ahead and approve to?
If you approve motion 2, you approve the amendment.
Right.
And then we go back and vote on the motion as amended.
Okay. If I approve the amended motion, anyway, if we approve this tonight, can we set aside funds for how can we proceed in an expedited fashion to get the bid process started? Like, does it have to come back, because there's a dollar associated with that?
We can set a limit, we can set
That's what I wanna know, do
we
we
can
need
give the
to?
finance director discretion up to, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can do that.
So do we need to amend this motion to include a cost with this through the budget?
I don't know that you can put a cost on it, I mean,
Or up to limit?
you
And-
can, my suggestion would be to go ahead and deal with this, or pass it on, because we got about 4 minutes before the other thing started, and we still got people to talk, so I mean, you done.
Miss Katie, let me try to explain. Okay, the reason I made the motion to amend this, to put motion 2 with motion 1, is it's not fair to deal with jailer pay compensation and not tag along with the same motion the fact that we need a survey. We need to know that we're comparing apples to apples. We need to know what the base is. We need to know the fine print. Right now, we don't know enough about it to much more have a talk about it. So therefore, nobody in this room knows what it'll cost to have a survey, but we're gonna have one, because we're gonna have to deal with this countywide. And it would only be fair to all the county employees that if you fund a mechanism to help the sheriff tonight, is to tag this to it with insurance to the rest of the employees that, hey, this is gonna happen. We're gonna deal with this, and it's gonna happen this fall. That's why I amended it to make it all one motion.
It's a motion for I believe that's true, but it's a motion for $16,263 additional dollars.
So it's the motion that was amended, it handles the
County fund balance.
county fund balance, and it handles the jailers and the workhouse. Is that?
Correct, the guards, and then the cafeteria
And two
staff.
cafeteria,
And the litter.
4 workhouse,
Litter grant.
litter grant, 33 jailers.
The original one that he presented last Monday.
Correct. It does not handle anything else, does not handle any of the what's on down here on this other. Is everybody clear on that?
No employee, nothing extra.
No part-time.
No part-time, no nothing. All right. Any discussion on that motion as amended?
I like to close and everybody's done.
Apparently everybody's done.
Unless I worded it wrong, the second part of the motion says, I move we instruct our finance director to solicit bids from outside professional firms to provide a quote to do this market survey. So what I'm trying to say is let's ask her to go out and get with these companies and have them tell her what it's going to cost to do the survey, and then if we want to have a special call commission meeting, we can, and she can tell everybody exactly what it's going to cost and pick a firm. So we're not committing to any money on that right now until we know what it really costs.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
As long as we have a special call meeting.
And I don't know all that we can try to make all that happen before October's meeting, but.
Okay.
Not trying. Try.
All right, any others? Chair's closed. All those in favor of the motion as amended that handles the jailers and the workhouse only, with the motion for market survey, signify by saying aye. Abstain for cause. All opposed, like sign. Aye. 2 opposed.
2 are.
Me and Mr. Moore.
Okay.
All right.
Or, sorry, motion
I was gonna say.
Check the mail. You been hanging out with the mayor?
He's rubbing off on me.
Oh, no, no.
I thought maybe you went to Newmarket.
You come in with them glasses
I
on.
went to Daniels Elementary, thank you.
Young lady, if your glasses change.
I did not know they had toilet books and feeder bugs. That always did.
Your time.
All right. No other thing. Motion to adjourn. Miss Katie, Mr. Carmichael.